The carnivore diet has been getting a lot of attention lately, but most of the recipes out there are, let's just say, a bit underwhelming.
What the?
Yikes! So today, we'll try to do something more elegant. Hi guys! If you are new here, welcome. I'm JM and I have been a professionally trained chef and a personal trainer for many years. I have been experimenting with many diets over the years, with myself and my clients, taking notes and really paying attention to what works in practice. And my body and health always pointed me towards a meat-based diet. This is why I feel qualified to talk on this subject. So this is what we will prepare today. An elevated restaurant quality carnivore chicken dish that anyone can do at home. Some of you might ask, why carnivore? This diet seems very restrictive, but for many, it is a great way to improve their health. Since it is an elimination diet where you get rid of all other categories of food which are often difficult to digest with inflammatory responses. I'm not saying that everyone must go carnivore, but if you have gut issues, skin problem, dandruff, fungal or parasite infection, eczema, autoimmune disease, this diet might be perfect for you. If you have been following online, you probably heard that Jordan Peterson's family had amazing results on a carnivore diet. And maybe you will too. Alright, enough talking, let's get cooking. So here are the ingredients you will need for this recipe. 2 chicken breasts with the skin on, about half a cup of cream cheese, couple tablespoons of butter, and a cube of homemade chicken stock. I understand that finding chicken breast with the skin on can be difficult. This is why I recommend buying the chicken whole and breaking it down yourself. This way you get to enjoy every single part and save money at the same time. Back to the recipe. With some clean hand, I will simply remove the skin and save them to the side. Just take your time and make sure you don't tear the skin. For the next part, I'll be using my air fryer. 1 basket with 2 racks. Just spread the chicken skin on 1 rack, making sure it's nice and flat. Slide back in the container, add a bit of salt, then using the other rack upside down, press down on the skins to keep them nice and flat. If you don't have an air fryer, take 2 baking trays of the same size and use the same method. Simply bake in the oven at 350 for about 15 minutes. And for the air fryer, 10 minutes at 375 should do the trick. So now that the crispy skin is on the way, we can move on to the chicken. At this point, I like to pat dry the chicken with a towel. Make sure to clean and trim the breast if necessary. Moving on. Now using a paring knife, I will insert into the breasts and create a little pocket inside to receive the stuffing. I'm gonna put a little bit of lemon zest in the cream cheese, but this is totally optional. But if you guys are purist carnivore, you can skip this step. But in my experience, a little bit of lemon zest never hurt and it goes a long way for flavor. Just mix it really well and you're ready for stuffing. Alright, so the chicken is prepped. The cream cheese is ready. Now we're gonna use a piping bag to stuff the chicken. So if you don't have a piping bag, you can always use a Ziploc bag, cut the end off, and squeeze the mixture out of it. We'll just add the cream cheese to the piping bag, then get rid of the air pockets, insert the tip in the hole, and squeeze half the mixture in the chicken breast. And repeat the same for the second breast with the remaining cream cheese. Now I'm gonna use toothpicks to seal the hole, so the stuffing doesn't come out during cooking. Then season generously with salt on both sides. Now it's time to check on the crispy skins. While they are still hot, carefully remove them with a pair of tongs. If they cool down, they will be very brittle. Now put a pan on medium-high heat. Once the pan is hot, you can use some animal fat. In this case, I'm using beef tallow. As you can tell, my pan was too hot, so I just put it on the side to cool down a little bit. Once the pan is at the desired temperature, I will carefully drop my chicken. You should always sear your presentation side first when the pan is at the cleanest, to make sure that your piece of meat is nice and pretty. At this point, I will just swirl it around a little bit to make sure that the fat makes a nice contact with the chicken. At this point, I will leave the chicken a few minutes to firm up. If you play around with it too much, the stuffing might come out. After a few minutes, you can go ahead and carefully flip them. You should have a nice blonde color. If the pan is too hot, the outside will be tough and overcooked. At this point, I will start basting the chicken breast. Then I will continue to flip them around, making sure to get a nice coloration on all sides. This entire process should take you about 10 to 15 minutes. Once you get a beautiful, nice blonde color on your chicken, you can grab a baking tray and remove them from the pan. Make sure to save the fat and pour it over your chicken before sending it in the oven. After about 10 minutes, I will take the temperature using a thermometer. I'm aiming to reach about 68 degrees C. Once you're pretty close, put them back in the oven, turn off the heat, and let them rest. While the chicken is resting, it's time for the sauce. We're gonna deglaze the pan with the chicken stock because there's tons of flavor left at the bottom. Now, this is totally optional, but I will add a teaspoon of beef gelatin, which is gonna give the sauce a velvety, silky mouthfeel. Bring it to a boil and let it reduce until it has a syrupy consistency. Once you have the desired consistency, you can drop the butter, take it off the heat, and slowly emulsify it. Once well incorporated, it is time for a well-deserved taste test. Now keep your sauce off the heat and get your chicken out of the oven, ready for plating. Now get the chicken onto the chopping board and carefully get the toothpick out using your fingers. Now you can slice into your beautiful chicken and plate it in a beautiful way. I mean, look at this. Oh, so juicy. And now it's time to sauce it up. I will start with a little bit of sauce directly on the chicken and a little bit of sauce around to make it nice and fancy. A bit more lemon zest, again, optional, and a little bit of thyme for presentation and aroma. And finally, that delicious crispy skin. Et voila! I mean, look at this. Don't tell me you don't want to dive in there right away. Oh, yeah! Alright, so clearly, guys, we didn't film that part because we were eating that like greedy pigs.
That was the most delicious carnivore meal I ever had.
I think I will have to say the same. The combination of this sticky gelatinous sauce that just coats your mouth with the creamy, soft cream cheese in the middle and the beautifully moist chicken and that crispy skin to seal the deal. Oh my God. So if you guys want to try it at home, just make sure that you follow step by step. I know it seems intimidating, but I'm sure you can do it. It's not complicated. If you enjoyed the video, please comment and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next episode. God.